finger? Hell yeah.
Classes in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC Guy, and Trade Fly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
Yo, good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, July 18th. I had to think of the date there. It's July 18th on Thursday, guys. Bitcoin staying pretty much sideways like we thought it would do yesterday, still around that $65,000 range. NVIDIA getting a little bit of a rally today off of that massive sell-off yesterday. Guys, billions, hundreds of billions of dollars outflow yesterday on the tech market. But today, we're going to look at some crypto. We're going to look at a lot of TA. So, guys, strap in. Let's get it. It's Thursday. And this is the Piper Academy. Classes in session. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Piper Academy. As I was saying, we got a lot of TA to do today. We're just going to dig into some charts. There's not a whole lot of news today. So we're going to focus on this, the chart, see what they're saying, what they're telling us, and then we're going to hang out with you guys. We're just going to chill. We're going to chill today, do some TA, make some money, and we're going to have these two guys keeping me company here. Let's go ahead and bring them up there. It's Trade Fly and OC Guy. What's up, fellas? How you guys doing today, man?
What's going on? It is Thirsty Thursday, and let's say what's up to everyone in the chat. Hey, let's get this going right now. Trade Intuition Joe, he says he's first. Alexander G, best mod in the house. How you doing, my SoCal lady? Muhammad Nazarian, how you doing? The OC Guy, man, he's that beautiful guy right next to me. John Foster Crypto, French Toaster, hola, my friend. Harp, Regent Cash, my man Chris, Retro, Mike Tech. And I think that is it. And shout out to y'all last night. Thank you for making the premiere an absolute success. That was awesome. You guys really showed out for me, and I really, really appreciate that. Me and FD, working hard in the background, trying to make that happen. So we're going to keep cleaning it up, making it beautiful. And, it's going to be a product just like you're seeing every morning here soon. We got to get my man back to the States, though. FD, if you listen, man, come on back, man. Come get some internet, bro. We got that good stuff over here. All right. Love you.
Get some internet. I got some internet up here. Oh, you almost got it.
We got that good stuff. That fiber.
Oh, good Lord. OC, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. Yesterday was a very fun day. Also, I think today is going to be a very busy but fun day. And thank you for that. Also, shout out Trade Flight. And we're very happy to have you back here. It seems like, if I'm not mistaken, today is your Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it depends on what week it is. It does rotate back and forth. Yes, one of the weeks, this is my Friday. But yesterday was my Friday for this week. But yeah, it's a confusing schedule. My buddy's wife was like trying to figure it out. She was like, I don't know when he's off. Just what's going on here? So that's my life, man. But dude, I'll tell you what, man, it's been busy because Monday was insane, right? Like morning show, afternoon show, and then evening show. I was like, yo, I'm swamping the Trons, baby. So I'm getting out there.
Yeah, if you like consistency, don't take TradeFly's schedule. I'm just going to put that out there. Zero consistency. But to maintain a little bit of consistency, let's go check out some news. Let's do that. Let's jump over. Check this out, guys. Fear and Greed, 61. We are sitting at 61. I want you guys to know something. We're going to talk about this later when we look at the charts. But I have never seen the fear and greed market so responsive to the littlest moves of price. I'm just going to pull this up here, and then we'll look at this compared to the charts later. But 61, that's where we are right now. Yesterday, we were at 69. We had a little teeny pullback, and it drops down to 61. Last week, we weren't really down that far, and we were sitting at 29 fear. And then it shot back up. We didn't really fall down that far to get where we're at to give us fear, and we were at 74. and this is pretty much right where we were at a month ago. So I don't know, guys. I'm telling you, the slightest moves in price are causing the fear and greed index to be volatile, super volatile, which is what we were talking about this morning on the titling there. Volatility and fear is what we're seeing. So I just wanted to point that out. Let's jump over here to the crypto bubbles, guys. You can see on the daily, we're mostly red. There's some green on here. Rune's up, WIF is up, Jupiter's up. Tau, the minor little things that are moving there. On the hourly, we got a lot of red coming in on the hourly right now at market open. We're selling off. But I want to show you guys here. It's only down 0.3% for Bitcoin. It's only up 0.3% for Ethereum from yesterday. So this is looking at the market cap on a daily. So overall, we're pretty much where we were at yesterday, and we had a complete reset there on that fear and greed, a drop of 8 points. So it's pretty substantial for the same price area that we're at. So let's jump down here and see what we got on the prices. Bitcoin around 64,650. Not far off from that 65 that we've been fighting with for a couple days now. Ethereum at just under $3,500 there, not looking too bad. Any other big movers here? Let's see. XRP has lost 7.4%. It's back down to 57 cents there. Still up 28.9 for the week though, so that's not too shabby. Let's go look here. Who else we got? Pepe up 1.1% for the day. Nothing big, nothing to write home to mom about there. Mantle's up 5% there. Dog with hat, that's again your big winner, 11.3% today on this top 50 list. So let's jump over, take a look at the liquidations, because I'm sure a lot of those were in that range that just didn't get hit. A lot of longs didn't get hit. A lot of shorts didn't get hit. So past 24 hours, 42,000 traders liquidated, $119 million. Largest single liquidation was on OKX. It was a Bitcoin USDT swap, and that was a $2.56 million. Only big data we got today, guys, that was initial jobless claims. This is the filing for unemployment. We talk about this all the time. Guys, it was at 223 previously, 223,000 last week, right? Consensus is that it would be 230,000. Forecast would be 225,000. Actually came in higher, 243,000 this morning is what that number came out at. So something to note here that I saw, if you click on these, by the way, you can go in here and read data on them. It wasn't just that we had higher number of people filing for unemployment this week. We also had people staying on unemployment. That number went up also. So the number of people claiming unemployment benefits rose by 10,000 to 243,000 on the period ending July 13th. Reaching a new weekly high, surpassing market expectations of that 230, which we just showed you. This increase, along with other key indicators, suggest that the U.S. labor market is continuing to soften during this period, bolstering expectations that the Federal Reserve may lower benchmark borrowing costs by September. Meanwhile, the outstanding claim count, this is people that are still on unemployment from previous, has increased by 20,000 to 1.86 million on the week ending July 6th. The 4-week moving average for initial claims, which reduces week-to-week volatility, rose by 1,000. On a non-seasonably adjusted basis, claims soared by 36,824. So with expansions noted in Texas, 11.5K in Texas, and in California at 6.9. I want to come over here because I just saw an article recently talking about the Austin market. And I think I may have brought it up here a couple of times about how many houses are available in Austin right now. Like, it's going through the roof. There's houses available everywhere. Big reason for that, a lot of tech layoffs. I'm seeing these numbers, 11.5K in Texas, and then 6.9 as the biggest two in California, right? 6.9K in California, 11.5K this last week in Texas. Both tech-heavy locations. So would love to hear, are you seeing a lot of tech layoffs, people that you know in the tech industry out in California, TradeFly? Because we're definitely seeing it here in Texas.
Yeah, to be 100% honest with you, I'm not personally, but I know that in the area of like San Francisco, Palo Alto, those areas, there is definitely a huge change in the dynamic out there, especially with housing and with the tech industry itself. So I think it aligns just in general, right? We're talking about an industry. So we start talking about the tech industry, and that area specifically in California is very tech heavy. And then Austin is very tech heavy as well. So I think really it's just it's encompassing the industry itself. But what's potentially headed out to Austin here soon, and that is Tesla. Apparently, they are moving their headquarters, right?
So is that.
Yeah, there you go. So they're done with California. So that might actually be a little boost to that area itself if they do end up going to Austin. I think initially that's the speculation. I don't know if it's been necessarily announced. Someone in the chat could probably correct me there because you guys are smart individuals and you're probably much more spun up on that than I am. But hey, you know, that could be good for the Austin market. You know, that might be might save it a little bit. But I don't know.
Mr. Warren said yes.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah, the thing that I'm watching here, because this might be one of those this might be one of those precursors to taking your profit on your tech stocks. Not financial advice, but when you see all these layoffs happening everywhere and they're showing up in job numbers, heavy California, heavy Texas, it might be one of those situations where the next earnings reports will show why they've been laying all these people off in this quarter, and now their earnings reports are reflecting their profits. Maybe they missed some of those. So might be one of those times that you might want to take a little profit on your tech stocks, not financial advice. So
is this where you think we hit the trifecta, right? The one thing that was lagging, the one thing we were waiting for interest rate cuts was what? The labor force.
The labor market. Yep, that's it.
Right?
That's it.
So maybe we finally hit it, but I don't know. We'll see. Inflation's still kind of high, so there's that issue.
So another big thing that's going on right now in the markets is this Mt. Gox stuff, right? They're sending all this back, and we talked yesterday about it. I think I actually sent that over to Brad on Infinite Crypto. I dropped in on his show yesterday in the chat, and 65%. Is what we talked about yesterday on the news. And then I also talked about it there. 65% of the Mt. Gox Bitcoin is out. These guys were all victims of hacks, right? That's how they're in this situation. They were a victim of hack. But check this out, man. These poor guys just can't catch a break. Multiple Mt. Gox creditors claim brute force login attempts on accounts. Multiple users on Reddit claim that they have seen numerous login attempts on their Mt. Gox account. The Mt. Gox claims website currently says it is temporarily unavailable for maintenance. Multiple users who claim to be Mt. Gox creditors have posted on the insolvency subreddit, stating that they have noticed several unauthorized login attempts on their Mt. Gox account by unknown hackers in the last 24 hours. Users claim that the actors may be using brute force techniques and added that their two-factor authentication likely thwarted the intruders from accessing their accounts. Others suggested that the incidents might be due to some glitch in the system. A brute force attack. Do you guys see? Pay attention here. Pay attention. This might be on the test, class. Brute force attack involves hackers attempting to access user accounts or systems by systematically testing numerous passwords or keys until they discover the correct one. So, if you guys don't know what this is like, say, for example, we're going to use Mt. Gox as the example. Somebody said, hey, here's the email list. This is for all these creditors, okay? Here's the email list. You pay me some money for this list of all the emails. That's all they get, the emails, right? That's all they need. Email addresses. They pay this individual money, selling data, right? This happens all the time. And most of the time, it's not even the company. It's just somebody there. Hey, you give us an email database, we'll give you $20,000. That stuff happens, right? You ever notice you go somewhere and you sign up for this one thing and all of a sudden you're getting 20,000 emails from companies that they sold your email address, right? And so it's really easy for them to then go in and go, okay, I got this email address. Let me go find this individual on social media, this and that, and they just keep running through the cycle until they get enough information like, oh, look, this guy's talking about his mom here, and this guy's talking about his for this Facebook page. Hey, look at this 1967 blah 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 blah. What was your first car? Oh, well, he responded to this and said it was a Ford Mustang, right? Like whatever. Like they get all this engineered, social engineered data on you, and then they can go and just start trying all those things. So, guys, when you guys are getting these emails, when you guys are doing anything, when you see one of those, do you remember what street you grew up on when you were a kid? Let me know down below if you do. And people are like putting all this stuff. Guys, those are your security questions. So be safe out there. Be careful, because literally what they're doing there is brute force. They got an email address and they are just trying everything they can. They only got to get lucky once. So remember that. So when you get those emails.
By the way,
yeah.
Sorry. By the way, just so you guys are also aware, AT&T United States has one of their biggest hack this past month, and AT&T Mexico, as always, I mean, Mexico side, they have not said anything. But if we can throw it really quick to my page, I want to show you guys something to keep yourself safe, because I think where you were going, Piper, is like take a look at your email. And then if that email has been compromised, make sure you change your password, because that might be being tied to what, as you mentioned, security questions. Maybe you're recycling passwords for your crypto wallet, right? And by the way, this is haveiveBeenPound.com. It's already have been updated with these new lists. This is right now at this time, at this moment, the biggest collection of our passwords. So let's just use one of my old passwords that I did have that I am aware that I got hacked, and I already have done some security things. So let's do REX low dash 005. By the way, this was my very first email ever. I took this when I was on primary school. So hotmail.com, and then you place here pound, right? So it's going to be taking just a little thing and says, oh no, it's been pound. I'm aware of this, right? But the important thing, it is who has been giving away or where it was leaked. So this is important. Adobe, October 2013. Have I changed my password since here? Yes, this is exactly when I changed it. Then I had to change it once again on February 2024. So make sure that you're looking at the latest passwords on accounts, where is it located, right? And then change the password accordingly. Like for example, I needed to change it on Adobe. I needed to change it right here. And then I did also had to change it on early 2020 on Twitter. So Absolutely. This is just a little bit of service.
Yeah, drop that link down. Drop that link down in the chat for us if you would, OC. That would be great. Yeah, and the BC Port Corp, which is a Blackie Chan, he said that's why you change your password all the time, and don't ever use the same one. Different characters, everything, guys. So, yeah. So,
another comment also too, right? Two-factor authentication. There's a reason they do that.
Say 2FA.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I remember back in the day, like my grandma forgot the code for one of her phones, and it like locked her out, and it was only a 4-digit. So what did I do? 001, 0002. 0003. I did it all the way until the thing unlocked. Like, so that's how brute force works. You just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and changing the combinations. And that's why they say when you have a weak password, they advise you, hey, you need to make this thing a little bit longer with a little bit more characters, put some capital letters in there, and get crazy with it. However, kind of hard to remember. So there's that issue too. And then where do you keep it? Probably in an encrypted like password thing on your phone, right? And then as soon as someone gets access to that, they have all your passwords. So
I use hide your email a lot with Apple devices. You can hide your email so it doesn't even use your original email. So I use that a lot. And So even if they got an email, it's not the email that's used for my logins because it's randomized, just like passwords are. And then, so that's really good. But I use the Google Vault. It's fantastic. So there you go, guys. Little tip for keeping yourself safe there. Of course, you could be like Tradefly and I. We were victims of the largest data hack ever in government history when the CFC, which is to where all of the security clearances stuff for OPM, the Office of Personnel Management. It's where all of our security clearance data sits. And they had a hack, and all of that data got put out about 8 years ago. So if you had a security clearance about 8 years ago, not just your email address, but literally all of your data that they look at for classified security clearances got pushed out into the dark web. So congratulations, Tradefly. We're screwed.
3 times, bro. Government entities have failed me where all my information has been given away. I think it's been crazy. But who was this? It was C90, I think. But French Toaster said, hold on, let me go back here. C90, French, that's some tight security, LOL. I have too many ones that rotate every 3 months. And then French Toaster, almost as tight as the Secret Service's security. So if you guys are following that.
Love it. All right, let's go take a look at Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin today, guys. I said we're going to do some TA today, and we haven't even done any TA. We're 21 minutes in. We talked about security and hacks. So that's okay. It's probably good information. It's probably more important than where's Bitcoin's next price going, right? Let's take a look here, guys. This is what we had. We talked yesterday. I said, we're probably just going to stay right here in this range anyways, maybe go as low as the 50 to 100, but I don't see us going too far up or too far down. I think it's going to be kind of sideways. And that's exactly what we did. Is Trade Intuition in here? Yes, he is. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. I mean, it's really simple, guys. You just take a look at this. You put your trend lines on there, and you can see, oh, we got a breakout right now. So we're just going to go ahead and run with this, and this is going to make us, a lot of money. And we're going to break that out right there, and we're just going to sell it. We're going to say that it's going to go up to this pocket here, but we're just going to sell it like right here. So shout out to Trade Intuition. If you know, he's got a great video talking about this. So I just wanted to do that for him. But no, guys, seriously, looking at the 4 hour here. You see, there he is. Looking at the 4 hour here, something I was watching yesterday, guys. I put it on these local fibs, and I entered into a little trade there on Bitcoin. Let me see if I can pull that up here. Show my face. All right. Just a little outside movement there. It's nothing but major. It's just a little one. Oh, nope. You're up there. Just a little one. See, it's green. Nothing major. But I entered on that golden pocket there that we were seeing on this local fib. And I'm pretty much entered like at 63 840 or 860 or whatever it was. It was like, 860. 960, 860. Yeah, 860. That's where it got in right there on that golden pocket. Moving to the upside now. I didn't think that we were going to break through this, but I figured if we did, I could always ladder in and do a second entry down there on the 150 day moving average. But as of right now, guys, I think as long as we stay above this platinum pocket, because here shortly, I'm looking at a 4 hour, here shortly, our 150 are going to move into the, and I think that's, whoa, there we go. Hi, how you doing? I think that's where we're going to have, I had Tradefly issues today. What the hell? I think that's where we're going to stay at on that is right above that 50 day, 100 day, and that platinum pocket for right now. I'm not seeing anything significant and major saying we've got a major pullback or a major pump saying coming in. And I think as long as we are holding in that range, I'm okay with that, man. Boring is fine. I can deal with boring, but what do you got, Tradefly, on your chart, bro?
Right on. So I got the liquidation heat map up right now, and I'm looking at it on the daily, trying to find some hot spots here. You do have one down at about 63,750, and really it's pretty solid, just kind of going, working its way down. And then you can see it on the top side of that. So really, you got liquidity on the top and the bottom side here. You can see that people are starting to build up some shorts, just based on the resistance. This is kind of your last hit on the 17th here. That was pretty close to our show, about 0.835, right? And so just above that, you see some liquidity. But here's probably your hottest spot. So that's on the daily. So I mean, you see right now we're in between here. Obviously, this is a dark area. So I mean, top, bottom side, it's both close. So do I think liquidity is going to drive? Let's see. Let's go ahead and look on the 3-day to see if we can get a better picture, right? So you still see that liquidity. It's kind of all building up, but here's your hottest spot on the 3-day. So I would think that would be where, you know, price action would want to move the most, and that's just about 62,300 or so. That's kind of your hottest spot. That's where the maker gets the most here, and that's really because of this last area that we had a bounce off of support here, and that was at let's see, that was on the 16th. All right, so you know that's your hottest spot in the near term. I don't know how much. Let's see, 62,250, 62,3. Let's go over to the chart here. Sorry, I was looking at Sol. I was proud of myself on that one. I'm not going to beat that one up too bad. But 62,300 is what I said, right? Look at that. So I have a line right here, and this is just a horizontal line, and that's just finding an area of support and resistance. So you can see right here on the 4-hour, at least, you see hit resistance. It did pop up for a little bit, but once it got back under, what did it do? It retest and then it broke down. So that's why I'm looking at this area. And I had this area identified already, right? So it came up, did the OC retest right here. I think we talked about this last time I was on. Did the OC retest, and then it kind of kept moving up and right. So that makes sense to see some liquidity sitting there at that area. What else do we have down here, right? What else would bring the price back down to this area? Well, you got the 200-day and you got the dynamic reactor. I'm not saying that those things are magnets, but I am saying that a lot of times they hold up as support, right? So if those things continue to eke up and right, as well as the value area low could actually move up a little bit as well as price action stays a little higher up. So you could have a big convergence of, you know, different moving averages, like everything will be kind of lining up in the same spot. Very, very interesting to start looking at that and analyzing the fact that 62,300, you could see a nice little bounce off of that area. I think I'm going to go ahead and mark that now. And I think that I may look for a little bit of a scalp trade in that area if price action does come down. So in terms of short-term high side target, you got the point of control and you got this area of resistance that I've been talking about for a little while. But what you're seeing right now is maybe the opportunity for the 4-hour to get a little reset. So if we come down and we see another hit or another bounce off the support area, you could see a move up to these areas, and one that would clear out a little bit of liquidity, not too much, but you're gonna have a tough time probably with these areas here because we do have some solid resistance with both point of control and just a area that we've seen, I won't say historically, but you can see right here where it was support multiple times. So it is a strong area, and that's why I highlighted it in addition to the point of control. So usually when you see these areas that I have highlighted, that's because, hey, we've had, you know, multiple retests of those areas as both resistance and support, which lets me know that that's going to be a significant area of interest.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man. That is good stuff there. OC, what do you have? And then we're going to pull it back, talk to the people and get some altcoins going. So what do you got for us, bro?
Absolutely. Yesterday on the chart prep class, a shout out for Alex of Crypto. Also, we gave a little bit of a movement possible here that played out very nicely. So when TradeFly, you're talking about a scalping area, I think you are right on the spot, because if we start prolonging this line, we can see that we just had a breakout, but also we are below the zero line here. Just bear in mind that we are in the 3 minutes in here, and this could be changing fast. And something that lets me to understand that this could be a great area for a possible scalping trade. It is this trifecta or this trio of signals in here between a sell, buy, and sell that usually tells me that it is undecisive. So we do not have a confirmed trend. And what happens when we don't have a trend? Well, we usually oscillate for a little bit. After that oscillation, well, then that leaves us with an opportunity to position ourselves both in a hedge, both to the long, to the short, just like in a hedge, basically looking for that continuation. For the scalping scenarios, I'm looking at somewhere around between 63 for the low areas and something around, here we go, 65, 300 for the upper areas on the 4-hour. Other than what you guys have mentioned, which very aligned with that, I want to also show you this trend line in here, that if we go to the 3 minutes once again, we can see that that trend line has been capping the price out throughout this whole time, right? So it is a pretty important trend line. Let me go back to the 4 hours so we can see where is it going and how can it be affecting the price action. And as you can see, we were not able to break it. So if we still rejecting out of that trend line, I will be changing my perspective out of this dynamic reactor, not so I will say not bouncing but breaking down. And if we start breaking down, you see that I have this box, this trend line, and also my dynamic reactor. So this is gonna be my next entry zone, as we could be making an inverse head and shoulders with this neckline. We also have talked about this a couple of classes ago with a possible breakout target 265, 618, somewhere around those areas, depending on where it breaks. So other than that, basically just looking at the price action at these zones.
Fantastic. And then also username, I don't know if you remember yesterday, Trade Fly, but he said, I heard a bunch of words that I don't understand, and then I heard buy. He said, good call on Sol yesterday. I knew once you said all those words and all I heard was buy, it was a lock. And so, yeah, he made some money on your trade, it sounds like there. So
yeah,
shout out to
I do remember that because I followed it up in the chat as well. I was like, hey, 154, that's the area to look for. And sure enough, man, we got a nice little bounce off of there. So awesome that you jumped on that. That actually, that makes me happy, man. This is why we do this.
There you go. Shout out also to Trade Intuition. You guys have got to go watch the video. You guys have heard me making some inside jokes over here, but really it's about that video that he made. He's got a part 1, part 2, and it's really funny about the type of mentor you don't want. So it's good. You guys got to go check out that video over on his page. So on his YouTube channel. One thing that I want to talk about tomorrow, guys, we talked about all this Mt. Gox stuff. Tomorrow, right here, tomorrow morning on this show, we are going to have Ernest Lee on. If you guys don't know who Ernest Lee is, he is from Decrypted.tax. He is a tax attorney and a tax accountant. He's a tax lawyer and tax accountant, and he specializes in crypto. If you're in this space, you guys know who he is. We're going to be bringing him on to talk Mt. Gox. Like, what are the tax implications of people selling this that may have had this as a written off loss? They claimed it as losses already before. Now they're getting it back. All these little variables that are taking place here that might lead them to not sell or to sell this. So we're going to have him on tomorrow morning as a guest. You're going to want to be here for that. So guys, in our Discord, and if Crux is in here, that would be great if he could do that. If not, we will make it happen. But in the Discord, under general chat for all of the alumni, I want to create a section there where you guys can go ahead and line up some questions that you have for Ernest for tomorrow. And then we will make sure that you guys get your questions, if you're in our Discord, front loaded to him. So, it's gonna be pretty good. Someone made Joe very mad. Yes, absolutely, man. But yeah, guys, in the Discord, let us know what questions you have for Ernest Lee tomorrow, because it's going to be some interesting questions that people have relating to either the situation of Mt. Gox or if you are actually in that situation. So that's going to be tomorrow morning. We'll get that in the Discord today. Let's go ahead and jump over to some altcoins, guys. Let us know in the chat what altcoins you would like to see. Do you have one available, TradeFly and OC, to start with out the gate?
Yeah, I got Sol up. Just kind of revisit that from yesterday. So yeah, it'll be a super quick hitter. All right, I'm just looking at a potential exit here. So 163. I mean, really, we're getting really close. So if that was a scalping intraday kind of trade username, what I was looking at for the entry was about 154. It looks like you jumped on that one, and that was based on just like here, you have an area of support, resistance. Like it just seemed to be lining up. And then you go back, you see this really strong wick. So that's one of the biggest things I do is I just go back and I look where were we finding support and resistance, and the pressure was kind of going up and right for Sol. We had a very significant move up and right. So if you did a fib retracement, just looking at that on the short term, I could probably guarantee you that's either the it's probably the platinum pocket or the golden pocket, right? Just looking at it and looking where it pulled out, I'm gonna guess the platinum pocket there on maybe like an hourly chart. So one of the things that I was looking at, I was like, all right, cool. If we pull back, you want to make sure that you get the pullback and the bounce, and it may not come all the way back down to this line here. So sure enough, it looked pretty well. And the other thing I was looking at too is this moving average. All right, this is the 20 SMA. I was thinking that was going to act as some support, and look, it's kind of riding it up and right now. You'll see that when you have strong moves. Now, the thing that I wasn't really, caring for or liking, the reason I thought there was going to be a pullback for Sol was because I looked at the prime oscillator or the RSI, right? So if you're looking at that, you see that it was losing strength as the move was going up and right, and this was an area of significant resistance. So I was like, hey, it's probably going to pull back. Here's your area, and then it's probably, I'm going to say, like, if you're looking at this right now, it looks like it actually wants to start bending back up and right. So let me get rid of this here because that is obnoxious. All right, here you go. So bending back up and right. So now we're starting to get this trend of up and right movement. So this is one of the things that I always point out to you guys. What I like to see when I'm at least going long is I like to see this right here go up and right. Okay, so this is a good sign. However, now you got to be very, very careful. All right, so Sol is not moving completely independent of the rest of the crypto market, but when you see Bitcoin make a move up and consolidate, a lot of times that gives the opportunity for altcoins to start making a move up and right. And that's kind of what you saw with some of the altcoins yesterday and today, really. So here is an area of resistance, all right, just for your essay. So, about 162, 163 area, but be very, very careful. But I would say, like, I'm not going to say it's a lock, but it's pretty close. I mean, but if you got about 4% profit right now from here to here, depending if you use any leverage, I'll let you talk about that. But, this is a good trade already, man. So don't be afraid to lock in some profits or even, take what you got here if this is a quick scalp. But your area of resistance, I just want to point out to you, is 162, 163, around there. If we do end up pressing through that, though, what do we do next, right? Because you can see this one's clear. This one is probably one of the clearest lines of horizontal resistance here that you can find on the chart. If you do break through that, I think you might have a pretty solid move up and right to this next area at about 170. But if you exit here, this is kind of how I like to play the game, just to give you some understanding. All right, we locked this in. All right, we made a good trade. Good job here. Bink, take it. All right, but then wait for it to get over this area of resistance, and then that's your opportunity to potentially get back into the trade again. All right, so I don't like to stay in the trade and try to gamble and see that it goes all the way up to the next area. I like for it, okay, boom, we win, it gets over, and then we do the OC retest, right? All right, we come up, we come down, and then we go back up to the next one. That's the setup that I like to wait for because I'm a little bit more comfortable. And then it also is going to show you on the RSI and the prime oscillator, you got that continuation of trend. All right, so you're seeing the strength building up and right, and then that makes you feel a little bit more comfortable about continuing in a long position. So that's kind of how I like to do it. A little bit more conservative. I don't have a lot of big wins. I don't do these 2,000% wins like Reggie Classics does, but that's kind of my way of attacking it here. So there you go. Pass it over to the next guy. Let's do it.
Awesome. I'm going to be looking at Ethereum. Then I'll pass it around to OC because he's got that list going over there in the Discord. So shout out to Rayanne Shipley, my niece in the chat, and Alexandra G and Amy Lives Crypto, showing so much love to my niece. I appreciate you guys. BC Port Corp, by the way, said he had a job offer this morning and he's going to be more active soon. So maybe we can get him on to be a guest more often. That would be fantastic here on the show. We'd love that, BC. Let's jump over to take a look at Ethereum here, guys. I talk about this a lot. You guys know Sheldon Cooper? He knocks, penny, right? Sheldon Cooper effect. I talk about it all the time. It is what I call when you're continuously knocking on a level of support or resistance, and you continue to knock until the door opens. And that is what we're seeing going on here with Ethereum. It is in the Sheldon Cooper effect right now. On its golden pocket, guys. It is knocked here many times here historically, and right now it looks like we are trying to make another run up there. You can see here that we have a green momentum dot pulling back into the cloud here on the Oscillator Pro. We got a 0 line bounce to the upside, and we are starting to get off of that 50% line, the RSI primed Heikin-Ashi showing upside movement also. A lot of this is probably due to the ETF sentiment coming soon to a ETF near you. But if we break through this here, guys, and get support here on this 0.66, it's going to be a very bullish thing, in my opinion. And I would easily see us heading back to the $4,000 range once we break that golden pocket at 35.11. And you guys know that $3,500 has been key resistance on Ethereum for the past week. So watching that closely there, I do think that that is the point to watch. If we break 3,500, look for a retest around 35.20, 35.10, somewhere in that range. And that will be a long setup to the 786 at about $4,000. All of the indicators of the oscillators definitely giving us a key of confluence there that we need to be watching. So OC, let's kick it over to you. And let's keep this rotation going. We got about 20 minutes here, so.
Absolutely. So I want to touch back on RNDR. Yesterday we were talking about this one. As you can see, we also hit one of our alerts. Right here you can see that it was created July the 1st at 8:10 a.m. and also last trigger July the 17th. So basically it already has happened. As you can see, the timing or overextension was a little bit off. I would say that it happened a little bit earlier than I was expecting. Nonetheless, you can see that we were hitting the top of here as we were expecting. Look at that precision. It was at 7.015. So 7.015, somewhere around there. Basically right on spot to get that retracement. Something to be aware of, it is that we need to bring up our support and resistances. Here we go, and we're getting into a support area. That doesn't mean that we're going to be reversing right away, because it is a soft order block, and yes, we have the money flow right here, but we need to keep an eye on our oscillator right down there. Also, look at our prime score is pretty bearish, and our consolidation score is pretty high, which means that we are ranging, and that range could be broken at any time. So let's just see how far can we go. Remember that our next target after hitting this one will be, and let me just move this out of the way, it's going to be then hitting the bottom, because order blocks are magnetic, and usually after we hit a resistance we get attracted to them. So that could be a very interesting trade that you could be taking. I'm not saying that you should be shorting, but instead, since everything else is bullish, I will be rather looking for a possible re-entry. So looking for the flip of the ribbon right there, or even down here. But as soon as you see the flip of the ribbon, you want to be at support, and that could be your possible entry area. So for me, that will be somewhere around 580, 578. Let me place that one. And also looking at when we're crossing 6 at 12. So other than that, let me tell you guys that I did open this short, and I already are moving my stop to entry. I'm not going to be taking profits until my first target 6,128. Other than that, I just let it run and see how it goes for that short. Other than that, trading back to you guys.
All right, let's jump over here. Take a look at LCX. That's what I got up here on the daily, looking at this. And before I go into this, I want to actually show you guys. If you guys are members, you will have this have access to this in the Discord. So if you go over to Discord in Piper Academy under members channels, there is a section here called Project Quick Dives. Crux is very active in here, and he did one here on LCX recently. Right there. Yep. It's LCX exchange token. And he talks about that they, very popular exchange in Europe, fully regulated. And then they have another token called Master Dex that they're launching. It's a ongoing public sale that they have for it. And this is a launchpad token on LCX. So, what I wanted to show that first, because that's one of the tokens that I'm watching because of that. But I don't think that it's quite time to ape into this yet. You can start dollar cost averaging into this. This is available on Coinbase. For full transparency, I have bought a very little bit of this, but I actually think that I'm going to be looking more for a retracement down here on all of my from my iPad over to here. So,
now, huh?
Yeah. Hey, things happen, man. You gotta love technology. So it's all good. It is all good. So let me get you guys another camera here, and then there we go. I've got camera options at least. That's a good thing. It is going to be there. Hey, look, I got a camera back, and I'm like
there
chopped off.
There he is.
There we go. Okay, so taking a look here. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we do have this LCX here, and I'm watching on some higher time frames because right now I don't think that we really have enough of a upside movement. We did get a nice little rally bounce here, but we got rejected cleanly here on the 300-day and the 50-day exponential moving averages. We need to get through those before I start feeling really bullish. Looking to see if we can find any levels here. Let's go ahead and pull a fixed range volume profile on this higher time frame, so we see what we're looking at here. Let's pull it over. Yeah, see, you guys can also see we got rejected right on the value area low also. So I would say that my point that I will start to push in harder would be breaking 20 cents, that 20-cent mark, and then getting a retest on it. That would be where I'd start to get really bullish on LCX. But as of right now, seeing on the daily that we're starting to get these small candles here and starting to get this curvature, unless this turns into a goose head, which again, if it's gonna do a goose head, it's gonna go to 20 cents. So I'm just gonna wait and see what happens with that before I make any of those calls. So let's kick it over to TradeFly, see what he's got there, man.
Right on. So I was kind of going back and forth between Bitcoin and Ondo. I want to see where Bitcoin is at. And so, it looks like it's trying to hold this moving average, but I wouldn't be surprised with a retest in here. And that's important, right? Because Bitcoin kind of drives the market, and you see some similarities in the way that Ondo is setting up right now. And it almost seems like Sol was kind of diverging a little bit, right? It was actually it was moving a little bit stronger in comparison to Ondo, right? And I was like, well, that kind of perked my interest. And I was like, why is that? So looking at Ondo, you're on the 4-hour right now. And what I'm seeing is you have the dynamic reactor that is acting as support, as well as a previous area of support / resistance that I had already identified. So there's a little confluence there. If you're looking at the fib retracement, you got the 0.236 in the same area. Not perfect, but at least it's in the range here. So, and I think part of that, right, that's kind of hard. This one's hard because it's a little wicky on the top and the bottom side. If you were to go candle closes, maybe I'll look at that, see where that kind of lines up. Let's look at candle closes. There's always different ways to do this here. And that really, that puts it a little bit closer. All right. So, there's definitely you gotta kind of play with these fib retracements sometimes. Sometimes you got to find a different point, right? Sometimes it's not this point. Maybe it's this point. But anyways, so all of that's kind of lining up in this area, which leads me to believe there could be a little bit of support, but it does look like it's having a hard time with the 200-day SMA on the 4-hour chart, just to be clear about that. And you do have these moving averages. So why am I looking at Bitcoin? Well, because Bitcoin, it's kind of looks like it wants to pull back just a little bit down to its next level of support. I'm not saying it's going to, but that gives me a little bit of pause here because I'm seeing the prime oscillator just pretty much go down and right. It doesn't even look like it wants to bend up. Remember Sol looked like it wanted to bend up a little bit. It's not showing me the same thing on Ondo. So man, it's like I want to enter a trade here because I love the dynamic reactor, but at the same time, like this does look like the stronger area if I'm just coming back and looking at how price action reacted. Okay, so this right here, clearly it was trying to act as support. Look at the wick off of this. All right, this wick shows me that there was buying pressure at one point there. When it came down for the retest, a lot of that pressure is gone because people already went long. And then it came under, it retested the area, and then that's when it had its move down and right. So this range right here really is kind of a significant area of price action in my mind. But when I come down here again, you see a wick off of it, very strong wick. Now what was buying pressure is now selling pressure in the same general area. Keep note of that. And then once we got above it, what do? We retested it and then moved up. Well, it also aligns with the 0.38 almost to a T. All right. So these two things are highly in confluence. And that's at about $1.03. So take note of that. About $1.03, I think, is a very good area that we may revisit for Ondo before we ultimately make that move up. We want to see what was a significant area of support and was a significant area of resistance get flipped, right? You want to see that resistance turns into support now, and then you can make that move up and right. So I think that retest is in the near future. We'll see. But but that's just what I'm looking at. $1.03 right now is a good price point to look at. Ondo, oh look, there it goes live. It's starting to break down. It's saying no, sir. But anyways, that's an area I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna go ahead and set an alert right here. Again, don't just because it goes to the dynamic reactor doesn't always mean that like, hey, that's your entry point. You do want to have some kind of confluence, and you do want to look at some of these other indicators just to kind of build that picture and look at Bitcoin, right? So that's why I was looking at that first before I was like, hey, let me talk about Ondo. So I got this marks here for me. Ondo is in the portfolio, full transparency. So I may throw a couple bucks at it if it comes down to this area. But yeah, short term, if this holds up as support, well, then the clear area to look for right here is at about $1.09, and that's the 200 SMA. You can see wick off of it. So that's more, again, this is intraday, kind of like scalping type deal. If it does push up, you're looking at, let me see what percentage move, about a 4% move. That's pretty good. That's a good move, especially if you're using just a teeny bit of leverage. Again, I don't ever recommend using more than 3 to 5. I am not Reggie Classics. That man is a wild man. Using a 200x leverage. So I'm giving you a lot of love, man. Giving you a lot of shout outs here the last couple of days. So hope to see you still on the Discord posting those things. It's dope to watch. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at for Ondo.
Awesome. I'm going to jump over. I'm going to do ICP, and then we'll come back around to OC guy. 1 second here. Guys, taking a look here. We've got ICP here. Do you guys remember this little trend line we talked about? I think it was earlier in the week. I said we got this bounce here of the platinum pocket here. We are heading up towards the some key resistance areas. We got the golden pocket. We've got all the moving averages up here. But we've got this long-running trend line that goes all the way back. Its previous support back here in 2024, March, and then just resistance all the way down. Well, we made it back up there. We are there officially, and we have made it past the dynamic reactor. We've made it past the 50-day. We are sitting right now, though, below the 300-day, the 100-day, and the 200-day on that key trend line. So, something that I want to point out. We are looking at a 4-hour here. We are getting a bounce on the 618 of the Fibonacci's here, which is very bullish in my opinion, because, we got our bounce out of the platinum pocket. We got a retest of the platinum pocket. We got a rejection of the golden pocket, a breakthrough on the bottom of the golden pocket, rejection of the top of the golden pocket, and now a breakthrough and retest of that. That's all bullish structure on the local time frame. If we are continuing to get the momentum and the volume that we need to push off of this golden pocket, guys, then we should be able to break this trend line. Also getting through that 300-day, 100-day, and 200-day exponential moving averages, and should be heading up to the 50. Looking for some confluence on the oscillators. We do look like we have on the 4-hour, a little bit of downside movement, but you can see we're starting to get a rounded bottom here on the RSI primed. Could be setting us up for a zero line bounce here for more upside, just like we saw here. You see this pullback here, zero line bounce, move to the upside. I think we could be getting that based on what I'm seeing here on this oscillator on the RSI prime relative strength index. Let's take a look at the daily and see how this is looking. Dailies is looking a little overbought, so be aware. The possibility there for a rejection is there off of this trend line. But again, at this point, if I'm looking at the daily, I would look at $9.05 golden pocket retest to do what we've done on platinum pocket. And so that's what I'm seeing on ICP. I see more potential for upside on the local than I do downside. But on the daily, does look like we could see some golden pocket, deep golden pocket retest. So let's kick it over to OC and see what he's got there. We got time for like one, maybe two more. So.
Absolutely. I have WIF. I know it was requested 2 days ago, and also we looked at this at a class. So basically, I was expecting all the way up here for a retracement. In fact, the retracement I was expecting was all the way down here to the dynamic reactor with a secondary chance to break up Buffy here for a quick flip of the ribbon. In fact, the flip of the ribbon I was expecting was right here in the vertex on or the border between the green cloud and the red cloud. So something here that I need to talk about It is the speed at which the price action moves versus the speed at which the oscillator moves. If you take a look at here, the price action did not went all the way down, although we did have that little like retracement, but the oscillator was moving faster or like in bigger chunks to the downside. So as we had the flip of the ribbon, and this is why I give a couple of positions where the flip of the ribbon can move to, right? But as soon as we had the flip of the ribbon right there, and we were back at support, well, then we had that reaction to the upside. So we're still doing good. We are breaking through that range that we have. Hopefully you guys had the chance of going back into a long. I just so you know, full transparency, I have no positions on WIF, and I will not be taking longs until I have a better breakout or a larger candle. And let me bring out my support and resistance so we can see a couple of those areas. There we go. And after having that bigger candle going for a retrace, and then this is going to be my entry area. So I'm still waiting for this one to play it out. So I'm just going to be moving it back to my right. Let me just clear this up because it's getting a little bit messy. Here we go. And this is exactly what I'm going to be looking at now. Basically, we have a Wyckoff range without a spring, but seems like we are breaking out. So as long as we are on a good prime score, I think we're still bullish. Also, going back to the dynamic reactor is not out of the question just yet. That is because we have market dumps all the way to our prophecy. So we can still have this as a fake out and then going to visit the areas of 198. That's why I'm going to be waiting maybe even for a late entry as we bounce right there for a confirmation, and then setting my stop loss right there, giving it a wiggle room, and then aiming for the next area of resistance that is going to be at my fair value gap. So other than that, waiting for the retest to play it out or to fail. That's going to be my next position right here on WIF. Other than that, turning it back to you guys.
Awesome. TradeFly, you got anything, or do you want me to knock out Clean Spark?
Not TA, so this will be super quick. Just giving you guys some options if you trade traditional markets. One of the things that, you know, maybe you could take a look at, there's opportunity here for the NASDAQ, right? So there is TQQQ and then there's SQQQ, and that's a pro shares. It's like it's a way that you can short and long the NASDAQ perpetually. And you know, check those out. Like if you guys think you're good at trading the markets up and down, and you want that, you know, if you want to be able to short the NASDAQ, I just wanted to point this out to you. Here's a ticker for you to guys to look at. You can see right now, it's not, you know, it's right now, this is the short, right? So you're looking at it and it looks terrible, right? Because this is actually the short. The market's been moving up and right, but a lot of news has been coming out here recently that might say, hey, there could be an opportunity to go the opposite way here. You see this right here, this hit of bullish divergence right here. So might have been a little opportunity there. We got that NVIDIA nonsense that came out yesterday, a little bit of FUD. Now, remember last time, NVIDIA, when this happened, this was about 6 months ago, same kind of deal. We had that initial drop and then it ended up just going to the moon. So don't be completely discouraged there. But hey, just wanted to point those out to you. TQQQ and SQQQ let you play the market both ways for the NASDAQ.
Awesome. Shout out to Trade Intuition, just gifting a Piper Academy membership. So that went to Dev DeGrab, I believe that is.
No, bro.
Yeah. But hey, shout out to Trade Intuition. We appreciate you, bro, and congrats to Dave.
Hey,
thank you.
Present yourself. Yourself.
That's right.
Take one in the chat. Let's go.
All right, let's jump over here and take a look at the Clean Spark guys. Bitcoin mining company here. And I have been watching this for quite a while. This is probably sound like a broken record for you guys. I talk to you guys about this range down here all the time. This is your pickup range. And I said, we always come to the platinum pocket. Always. It just keeps happening over and over and over. We have broken a little bit above it a couple of times, but for the most part, we go into the 887 to the 786. Guys, we're heading back down. Guess what time it is? It's time to accumulate a little bit more. It's just, it's kind of funny how this one plays out because you could just continue to pick up and take profit, without ever really getting into messing with your entire bag. I have quite a bit of clean spark, but for transparency's sakes. But yeah, guys, I think we're heading back down. Dynamic reactor coming in at about 1522. We have the 100-day, the 50-day, the point of control. It's all sitting down here, and along with that golden pocket, the 0.66 to the 0.618. So there you go. That is what I'm watching there. It looks like we are going to be doing that again. Wash, rinse, repeat, clean spark. So there you go. All right, folks. That's it. We're at the bottom of the hour, and we appreciate you being here with us. I made it through the show today. If you guys don't know, I had a massive, massive headache this morning when I woke up. But I said, nope, I'm doing the show. Well, I'm doing the show. I will even do this show from a deathbed one day. I'm pretty sure. So, TradeFly, OC, what do you got for the people? TradeFly, we'll kick it to you first. What do you got for the people on the way out? Besides Crypto Nightcap and Ernest Lee tomorrow.
My man had a headache from all his tech issues this morning. Anyways, hey, thank you guys for joining us today. Super, super appreciate it. Love mixing it up with you guys in the chat. And for the most important question that I've seen today, how do you like your steak done? Well, for me, it is medium rare, baby. So that's my thing. Again, you guys have a great Thursday. Catch us on Crypto Nightcap this evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I would love to see you guys over there as well. And I will pass it over to OC.
OC, what you got?
Guys, thank you so much for joining today. And a quick reminder, today, I think still Prime Day. So this go for the girls. If your husband does not let you with the card, I got you a little tipping here, but it will only work if you click that like button. So go ahead, make up fake 40% plus discount coupons, print them out, do like 15, 20, crack a beer, tell him, hey, you know what? I found this site on the internet. Here you go, try them out. And then grab that card, girl, go swipe it up, because that money is not going to be spent by itself. You need to put that hard work. So other than that, turning it back to you guys.
Wait a minute. So let me get this straight. You're saying that buy what you want to buy, and then always have a coupon in your back pocket so that when you get yelled at for buying something, I had a 90% off coupon. And then you can avoid getting yelled at. I like it. I'm learning how to survive marriage every day from my friend OC guy on this show. So write that down. God. TradeFly, has any of this worked for you yet? Any of it?
Dude, I'm just trying so hard not to laugh every time we get to this part of the show, man.
All right, guys, we appreciate it.
I'm literally I'm tearing up right now. I'm trying to hold it in.
Because it's such a beautiful lie, man. I'm just saying. All right, let's get into this, guys. We're going to be heading out of here. We're going to be back here tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ernest Lee is going to be on here answering those questions, guys. Look for that area, that section over in the Discord. We're going to be having a place there for you guys to ask Ernest Lee questions, and we're going to be asking him those tomorrow. And then tonight at 8:30 Eastern time, there's going to be a Crypto Nightcap with FD White and TradeFly right here on the Piper Academy, guys. Tune into all of it and hit that notification bell so you can get notified when all these new shows are going live. We'll be back here tomorrow morning. Till then, as always, trade safe and use a stop loss.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. TradeFly, get the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, former Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. Sound off to get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Alexandra, yeah, that's my alumni. awesome, dude.